This is Julian, and I'm going to show you a little tutorial on how to rename files in Lightroom. This happens to be the most recent edition of Lightroom as of the end of 2020. So notice these images here. These are all taken at the American Museum of Natural History in New York City, and I thought they were pretty cool. So they all come with the original name that's assigned in camera, which is usually a couple of letters followed by a serial number, which differentiates each file and of course grows chronologically with the amount of files you take. So if I want to just rename a single image, the way you do it is you select the image, that's the way it's highlighted, and you go in here and you click in file name, but you have to be careful because Lightroom automatically includes the suffix, the file type, and you don't want to rename that ever. So here I'm just going to type in red octopus, comma, American Museum of Natural History, initials. And I haven't assigned a number to this image, but I'm going to do that just because I want to create some kind of numbered system or chronology. And this is just for the demo. So if I click out of that field or hit the return key, I've now renamed the image. As you can see here, when I hover over the image in Lightroom, it shows its new name right above it. These are still unnumbered. Now let's say I want to name a batch of images all at once. Okay, that's called batch renaming. I'm going to select the first and last using the Shift key to grab them all at once. And if you notice, the file name now says mixed, which means I can't do the file naming here. But what Lightroom did is give you a link here to the file renaming dialog. If I click it, it goes to the batch rename file dialog. I'm going to cancel that and show you another way to get to it. And that is you go up to the library menu and you scroll down to rename photos, and notice this shortcut here, F2. If you have access to function keys, the F keys on your computer, then use F2 if you want to become very fluid and quick at renaming images. So I now use F2, and what I recommend to people who are learning Lightroom is whenever you find a menu item that you're going to reuse often, just look over to the right, let go of the menu, and try that button. So I'm going to hit F2, and here it brings up the rename dialog. Now this can be a number of different formulas, but the one that I like to do is custom name. I'm going down to edit here. Custom text and the original number suffix. That's important because what that means is that I'm going to keep the original number that the camera gave the photo, as shown here in this sample, but I can type anything I want ahead of that. It'll automatically put that number right at the end of the name. So I'll show you from scratch how to build that. So I'm just going to pretend we're saving a brand new preset, and I'm going to grab under image name, put file name here, and original number suffix. So I haven't added anything here, which is where the custom name would go. If I just type in file name, it's going to type in the original file name. So I want that to be something custom. And that's where you look down here and you see under all the other options, custom text. So I'm going to hit custom text. Now it does my custom text that I want to put in, and then the original serial number for that image. But notice there's no separator here, so you want to add a dash or an underscore or a comma, whatever you do. I like dashes and underscores. Once I have created what we're doing as a preset for renaming, I'm going to save that as a new preset, and I'm going to call it custom name plus SER, short for serial number. I've already got that one, so I'm just going to type in the full word serial number. And that's the name of the preset that you'll use from here on if you choose to when you're going to rename a batch of images. Okay, so we've now created that, say done, and that's where it shows up. So I'm going to call this red ibis. How about if I spell it right? And I'm going to just simply let that be it. I could also do comma AMNH for the American Museum of Natural History. And now you can see in the sample it says red ibis comma AMNH. The dash is already put in there for you, and then the original camera serial number. The cool thing is it'll use the serial numbers for all 4 files just as they appeared out of the camera. So I'm going to hit OK. And as you notice now here, as I roll over each image, the camera serial number, here I'll put it right over here so you can see it easily. See how that number increases. Those are the original file name serial numbers. So that's the best way to do batch renaming in Adobe Lightroom.